Hi, welcome to the Fireside Chat. All right, welcome to your driver's meeting for the Palm Beach International Raceway.
Where are you at right now?
Oh yes, Bill wants me to launch in by saying I am in the control tower at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And if you're watching this video, you're not, because you are watching the video for Palm Beach International Raceway and the, as it's better known, TireRack.com Champ Car Endurance Series, South Florida 77. And yes, I have to read these when I do it. And as always, a huge thank you to our other sponsors, Willwood Brakes, Frozen Rotors, Racing Radios, Lifeline USA Fire Suppression Systems, RVA Graphics and Wraps, and Bell Helmets. And of course, our sponsorship award, which is always brought to you by the Chandler School. Our Sportsmanship Award, brought to you by our sponsor, the Chandler School. I'll get that right. And our class sponsors, Krispy Kreme, Discovery Parts, and MoneyShiftRacing.com. As always, we appreciate our sponsors very much. Thank you for staying with us. Okay, so I'll start this off. We again here are talking about the Palm Beach International Raceway. I'm going to try and keep this as quick and short as possible. If you'd like a longer discussion about some of the things we're going to talk about here, specifically flags, pit lane, how the race will roll out, all that kind of stuff, please watch our new to Champ Car novice new driver meeting. There's a link to it in the email that this video was linked from, and there's a permanent link to it on our discussion forum on the website. So either one of those will get you to it. Take a few minutes and watch that through. It's a good time to sit through it with your team if you get some new drivers and whatnot. So try not to belabor the things in here. So if you're coming to this event, you probably already know about it, but if you don't, HOD, Hooked on Driving, is sponsoring a test practice session on the Friday while we're loading in. Check the supplemental rules for the specific times, gates opening, that kind of stuff, but just know that gates open at 7 for teams who are running the Hooked on Driving event. Gates open at noon for all the teams that are just loading in to run our event on Saturday. So if you are running the HOD event, make sure you get there in the morning. If you're coming there and you're not running the HOD event, don't get there until noon. They won't allow you to go in because there's going to be some conflict in the paddock space. If you want to run the HOD event, there's a link to the HOD website in the final information email, or you can just search it out. It's hookedondriving.com. Find the drop-down menu for the events, and you can sign up there. They do want you to sign up in advance. They will be happy to take your payment that day and allow you to run, but like everywhere else, it makes things a lot easier if you sign up in advance. When you come to the track, please remember that we're still under this COVID thing. You may have heard about it. There's been some news articles about it. Google COVID if you're not really sure. As you're probably aware by now, we're trying to limit anything that's a large gathering of people, like the driver's meeting that we would normally do here in person. That includes the driver's meeting, the novice meeting the day before, and the award ceremonies. There won't be any gatherings for any of those normal things. So if you need to watch the novice meeting, it's in the link. Award ceremony, we'll just give the trophies out at impound at the end of the race. So keep that in mind as we move through the rest of this stuff. Any place that's normally a large gathering of people, we're trying to avoid it. As I mentioned in the final information email, one person from the team, preferably the team captain, to take the car through tech. One person from the team, preferably the team captain, to go through registration. We don't want the entire team showing up. As usual, masks are still a thing. The regulations change often. They vary state by state, but for now, it's probably a safe bet to say that masks are going to be required at the track. Pretty standard, pretty self-sufficient. Bring your own stuff, and just be aware that if you're in your own private area, like you're inside your hauler, you don't have to wear your mask, but if you're going to be out in public, moving around anywhere, or any place that you're interacting with other people, please have a mask with you and please wear it. Please be respectful of other people and their decisions, and just, it makes it a lot easier on everybody if everybody just goes and puts a mask on. So things may change. If it does, we'll push out the additional information, but for now, you can probably count on there being a mask. Okay, enough said about that. So like I mentioned on Friday, load in as usual. If you're going to run the HOD event, please make sure you carve out enough time to get your car through tech. After that, go to registration. Make sure you get that stuff taken care of. There'll be plenty of downtime during the day. But if you do want to come there and run the HOD event, they'd love to have the extra business, get you guys some extra track time. If you haven't seen it already and you're not aware of it, we had some discussions about running the track in a different direction. All that is off the table now. Again, COVID. We weren't able to get the things in places that we needed, safety, runoff room, all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to run both days, same direction. So Saturday morning for the race, make sure I get my times right here. We're gonna go green flag at the race, 9:30. Again, check the supplemental rules for the specific times for the rest of the day, but green on track at 9:30. That means I need all the cars to their pit stalls by 9. Drivers buckled in, ready to go. Expect to roll out off pit lane approximately 9:15. We'll use a random number generator. We'll announce it Saturday morning. We'll select the first pit stall that's going to go, and we'll move upward numerically. So let's say we start with pit stall 15. We'll go 16, 17, 18, all the way to the end. Start at pit stall number 1, go back down. On Sunday, we'll just flip the order. So if you're in the middle both days, you're going to be in the middle. If you're first off on Saturday, you're going to be last off on Sunday. We'll announce who that pit stall is going to be over the PA system Saturday morning. We'll have pit marshals on pit lane that are able to help you and guide you out. But expect to get that information Saturday morning. Is how we roll off pit lane. Pit stops, pit lane. Probably a good time to just cover a little bit of that. It's all, again, contained in the new driver meeting, but please remember the basics. Everybody stops at pit in, everybody stops at pit out. There'll be a stop sign, a tent, and a person standing there. If you're coming in on the rollback or hooked to a tow truck, I might be willing to let you go by pit in, maybe pit out too, probably not, just pit in. Everybody stops at pit in, everybody stops at pit out. Doesn't matter why you're coming through. Doesn't matter if you made a fuel stop, doesn't matter driver change, you're coming from behind the wall, black flag, it doesn't matter. Everybody stops at pit out. Specifically at pit out, be prepared to show your wristband. You have a driver wristband for the day. Show your wristband. They will do a quick courtesy check of your safety equipment. Please remember that it is your responsibility to buckle your drivers into the car safely. It's not our staff's responsibility. We are doing a courtesy check to see if we can visually identify anything that might be wrong. If we can check it and fix it right there and help you, we will. If we can't, we're going to have to turn you around and send you back to your pit stall. That includes the window net, all your safety gear, your harnesses, your Hans devices, all that kind of stuff. One of the biggest things we see is the belts on the Hans devices are not correctly hooked over the little railings for them. So take a couple extra seconds on your pit stop. Make sure you get your driver buckled in properly. We really hate to turn people around. Another thing we've been seeing a little bit now and again is helmet straps. Make sure you get your helmet strap on. All right, just take those couple extra seconds to get all your safety gear on properly. It'll save you some time at pit out. Be prepared to show your wristband. If you do not have your wristband on showing that you're a registered driver, we're going to turn you around and send you back. Also, make sure you get your gear check done. If you do not have a 2020 Champ Car inspection sticker on the left side of your helmet for the person at pit out to see, they will turn you around and send you back. I say that because it's happened a couple times this year. People switch out helmets and gear, they forget to get their gear checked, and they get turned around. So a couple seconds on you guys' end to make sure all your equipment is done properly, get out of pit lane a lot sooner. Same thing coming in. You come into pit lane, you stop, and you get a timer. Pit lane speed will be 20 miles an hour, right? 20 miles an hour on pit lane. It's a nice big wide pit lane there, but we have a lot of cars, and thank you guys, by the way. There's been great turnout for this event. There's a lot of cars there, 20 miles an hour on pit lane. So you stop at pit in, get your timer, go to your pit stall, do whatever you need to do, go to pit out, stop, they'll check your timer, check your safety gear, and send you on your way. Remember, 5 minutes on pit lane, 5 minutes from pit in to pit out if you take fuel. Taking fuel is defined under our rules as opening the fuel system. If you take the cap off the car, you've opened the fuel system up. You got to spend 5 minutes on pit lane. It doesn't matter if you put a half a gallon in the car or you take a full fuel load of 15 gallons. It's a fuel stop. You need to spend 5 minutes. Every person over the wall must be in full safety gear. Socks, suit, gloves, balaclava if it's required for you, full face helmet, visor down when you're over the wall. The only exception for driver gear is shoes. We won't make you wear your driving shoes. You can wear ordinary closed-toed, lace-up style shoes so you're not tearing your driving shoes up, but other than that, we want you fully covered in the same gear that you drive on the racetrack while you're over the wall. That's from gas cap off to gas cap on and all the equipment back over the wall. Once all the equipment's back over the wall, then you can come over the wall with the rest of your people, service the car, do whatever you need to do. Again, there's a longer discussion on this in the, thank you, Bill, in the new driver meeting, so watch it there. If you're listening to all this and you're nodding, going, yeah, I got it, you're good. If you're not quite sure, watch that other video. You got me off track, Bill. There's something else I was supposed to mention about pit stops, but I'm sure it'll come to me later. If you get down to pit out, they will check your timer, check you for 5 minutes. If you did not take fuel, you don't have to spend the 5 minutes. You still have to stop and show all your gear. When they pull the timer off your car, just tell the person at pit out, no fuel, and they'll let you go. All right? It's your responsibility to let us know. You should probably be thinking already that, hey, we can just go down there and tell people that we didn't take fuel. Well, I used to race for Champ Car, and it doesn't work, trust me, because 48 of your new closest friends will be calling on the radio to us, and 9 times out of 10, one of our pit marshals will be on the radio saying, hey, car X is on your way to pit out with fuel and a driver change, so they'll know before you get there. And Bill is making the fire extinguisher sign at me. A reminder again, please, 10-pound ABC dry chemical fire extinguisher with the pin pulled, the person handling it about 3 grown-up adult steps back from where fueling is taking place, ready to put out any kind of fire. We do allow a different kind of fire extinguisher. If you check our rules carefully, there is a second kind of fire extinguisher. If you know what that is, you're welcome to use it. If you don't know what that is, you probably shouldn't be using it. So if you don't know what it is, 10-pound dry chemical fire extinguisher. Remember, all of your gear, drip pan, all that stuff needs to be back over the wall. 1 5-gallon jug at a time, 1 person handling fuel jugs, 5 people over the wall. Driver in, driver out, 1 person to help the driver, person handling fuel jugs, and 1 person with the fire extinguisher. Again, if you need a longer description of that, watch the new driver video linked in the email below. I'd ask if there's any questions at this point, but I don't assume there is. Quick mention about flags. Again, it's longer discussion in the video, but yellow flags will be displayed 2 ways. Standing yellow, no passing from the time you can see the flag until you're past the flag stand, past the incident, and you can see the next flag station and see that there's no flag. Remember that in Champ Car we use line of sight rules, which simply stated means if you can see the flag, that flag is for you. Standing yellow flag, 70% race speed, no passing. Waving yellow flag, 50% race speed, no passing. Get a lot of questions all the time about double yellows, right? So a double yellow flag, 2 flags out, but they're still standing, right? Which means it's not creeping around the racetrack. It's still essentially 50% race speed until you catch up with the field. Double yellow flag means we're going to put the pace car out. Key thing here, if you're the leader, good job, congratulations, I'm happy for you, you're the leader. Please know you're the leader and don't race my pace car. When you come around front stretch, be looking for the pace car to come out, fall in behind them. If you're not the leader, you should see something out the windshield of your car, specifically one of your other competitors. If you're riding around under full course double yellow and you don't see another race car in front of you, catch up to the field. The reason we have the pace car out and we're under double yellow is because I need a large section of clear track so I can work an incident. So pack up to the rest of the field and stay tightened up. We can clear the incident faster and I can get you guys back to green flag racing. It's what you came there for anyway, and I want you to get as much of it as possible. Again, longer discussion about that in the new driver video. Remember, green flag will be displayed at the start-finish at the start of the race, and anytime we go back green after a pace car, after the nap, we will not have a green out for the whole race. No flag is green flag. No flag at the flag station, no flag displayed is green flag condition, and you can race on the racetrack. One more thing, the blend line. For those of you that have raced at Palm Beach before, you're familiar with how pit lane kind of comes out there through turn 1. For those of you that have not been there before, take a look at the diagram online. You come out of pit lane, you go to the left, and there's a long sweeping curve to the right. It's kind of a fast corner, so please stay to your side of the blend line. If you're coming off pit lane, stay driver's left until you get past the blend line. If you're on the racing line, stay driver's right of the blend line. But stay to the end of that blend line and make sure you're up to speed before you start merging into traffic. It is kind of a fast corner. Same thing at pit in. Make sure people are aware that you're going to pit, get way off the driver's left, look for that blend line on the entrance into pit lane, get on the correct side of it. It'll avoid any incidents down there. Bill, you're usually pretty good at asking me questions at this point and sparking my memory to say something, so would you like to put on a fake voice and pretend to be asking a question?
Yes, to the guy in the gray shirt.
The floor recognizes Bill Strong.
Yes, so Florida is really famous for its
screwing up the elections?
Its drinks.
Oh, the drinks, okay.
Hanging chads, and lightning.
Yeah, so that's a thing. Florida gets lightning. The safety limit for most tracks in Florida is lightning within 7 miles. We monitor within 10, If we get lightning within 10 miles of the track, we'll start working provisions for a red flag. I'll get everybody grouped up behind the pace car, bring everybody down pit lane, go red flag until the lightning abates, and then we'll just go back to racing from there. So we've done it a couple times. And speaking of things that are close to the racetrack, we mentioned this in the SUPs. We haven't really had any issues at a lot of tracks with it lately, but we do have a no drone policy. The interesting thing about Palm Beach International Raceway is it is literally right across the street from Pratt & Whitney and Sikorsky. They do a lot of really, really high-end government research stuff. So yeah, good luck putting a drone in the air around that place. They'll bring it down and you won't get it back. So no drones, please. Any other questions, Bill? Anything I'm missing?
I think I'm done.
Oh, good. I should be so lucky. All right, folks, thanks again for your business. We appreciate you coming to the race. I know this is kind of short and fast, but we're trying to make it easy for you guys to watch. So we'll see you in a couple days, and wish us luck at Indy. Thanks. Bye.